Since you don't need the money, the market's down and the interest rates are up, I think you're gonna be a lot better off hanging on to it.
Okay.
For rent with an option or lease purchase. Which one's better? I think probably the one that allows you to hold on to it the longest. I think you're probably gonna cash flow $2,000 a month, so an extra $24,000 a year, plus the appreciation, and plus you're paying it down a little, plus probably some tax benefits.
Great help. Incredible. And just coming off of his head as we walk through the house, highly recommend getting him.
Thank you, Don. If you enjoyed this video, it would help a lot if you would click the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Jeremy Parvin, realtor, investor. Today I'm looking at a house from my good friend Don Bowman. He really would like to sell this house, but with the interest rates what they are and the market being down, being the middle of the winter, should he just rent it? And if so, what should he do in general? It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,200 square feet, and Zillow has it estimated to be only $294,000. This is a bargain at that price. So my recommendation for Don is to do very little. Put some carpet out there in the one room and try to rent this thing out. I imagine you could get $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Hang on to it until that person moves out or until he needs the capital. I think he'll be a lot better off if he can hang on to it for another year or two, wait for the interest rates to come back down and the prices to come back up. And in the meantime, he'll make a lot of cash flow from the rent. I think he's got a very small mortgage on this, so it'll just be another stream of income. All right, Don, I checked out your house. I love it. I think you have a lot of potential here. This thing is massive. It's super clean. The colors are very neutral. I mean, this would be a dream for a big family. And I don't think there's a lot of stuff like this out there.
Correct.
This could be an income property. You could totally have like a rental in your house that you live in if somebody were like an investor or entrepreneur wanting the house hack and rent every one of these rooms out. Zillow is saying $294. And what did it say back in June?
$379.
Even at that, I think this is such a value. This is in a little bit different zip code that I like to play in. And when I see how much you get here and what you get, I gotta think that the condition of the inside of this house is a lot nicer than the average house around this area.
Oh, yeah.
I think an appraiser would give you a lot of credit because they would dig in and look at the details of them. So I think you're on the high side of that. You know, you might add 15, 20% or something maybe.
Okay.
You wanted me to look and say, do I sell it? Do I rent it?
Right.
What I think you should do, I asked you if you needed the cash now, and you said no, you don't. You'd ultimately like to get rid of it.
Right.
And you're kind of starting to plan towards retirement a little bit.
Correct.
Since you don't need the money, the market's down, and the interest rates are up, I think you're going to be a lot better off hanging on to it.
Okay.
The longer you hang on to a property, generally the more you'll make. So you rent this out. Let's say you rent it for $3,000 a month. You've got a very small mortgage. Let's say you make an easy $2,000 cash flow for, you know, as long as this tenant stays here. Then you think about just reevaluating when they move out. Yes, they're going to mess up your carpet some. Carpet's cheap, but I think you could get another 50 or 100,000 if you were to wait, you know, 3 or 5 years. And remind me how many properties?
I had 4.
So 2 rentals, including this. So plus your house, so you got 3 properties right now. You've been a landlord for how many years?
2 decades, 20 years.
Okay. About the same as I have. So you know the drill. You know what you're getting into. I would definitely just carpet it like the others. I wouldn't put anything fancy here. Okay. I would put some simple 6-panel doors on here. I get it. And I think you need to do very little. I think you could start advertising for rent as is.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
Because every day you're losing $100
Right.
on $3,000 a month. I think that introducing a lease option for this, or even a lease purchase, a lot of people that rent would be very interested in doing a rent with an option to buy. People love it. Not many people offer this. You would just simply add a blurb onto your rental list. You know, rent or rent with option to buy. And you just have a simple rental agreement with a 1 extra page that says this is an option to buy. I don't give people any kind of restrictions upon which they have to wait until they can exercise their option to buy. In other words, they can buy it at any time. You might want to wait a little bit, actually. Since the market's kind of down, you might say after 1 year, then you can buy to give you some protection. For the price of the property, I usually say current appraisal value at time of purchase. So you're floating that after 1 year or after 2 years that they can buy it at current appraisal value. And if you guys were to disagree, I usually just go to Zillow and the other person, we kind of agree on something. If you can't, then you could get a licensed appraiser. And if one of you didn't agree on that, you get a second one and average them or something like that. I think you can come to an agreement. The beauty of it is you say, all right, I'm going to give you a 5% per month rent credit. And in exchange, you are going to be responsible for all the maintenance and repair.
That person is. I would.
Yeah. And so it's really headache free for you. They're going to treat it like their own.
Good point.
They only get the rental credit on the months they pay on time. So if they're late, they just don't get it that month. It doesn't hurt how much they've built up.
Great tool.
And you tell them at the time of purchase, you'll use that credit any way that they want, on their down payment or on their closing costs, etc. It's a really great exit strategy. You're also going to save on realtor fees, you know, 6%-ish kind of plus on your end.
Yeah.
And then on a lease purchase, it's more of a delay. They're going to buy it, but they got to close within, say, 12 or 24 months.
24 months, I like that.
You might want to put an escalation where it increases so much per year on a prorated basis. Because I think prices will come back up.
Yeah,
you know? If you lock in at this low rate that it says in Zillow now, and then 2 years from now they can buy it for under $300,000, then you're not going to feel good about it when you're going to hate that. So I wouldn't do it like that. So I would generally put something like, you can buy it at this price with an annual increase of 5% per year, prorated monthly. Then you know you got some built-in appreciation.
Right.
So those are a couple of things you might want to consider.
Great idea.
For rent with an option, or lease purchase. Which one's better? I think probably the one that allows you to hold on to it the longest. I think you're probably going to cash flow $2,000 a month, so an extra $24,000 a year, plus the appreciation, and plus you're paying it down a little, plus probably some tax benefits. The longer you keep it, the more money you'll make.
Great help. Incredible. And just coming off of his head as we walk through the house, highly recommend getting him.
Thank you, Don. If you enjoyed this video, it would help a lot if you would click the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much. Oh, and by the way, although I'm a licensed CPA and I have 3 business degrees, I'm just a guy on YouTube, so be sure to contact your professionals before making any investment decisions. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. IdentityGuard.com is now offering my subscribers a 33% discount on their services. See the link in the show notes below.